Bangers.
Mate, I'm just waiting for J Squad to remix this.
Who remembers them?
Spasmeter? How could you not? Maybe, do you reckon it was something that was pretty specific to our high school? Or do you reckon it was actually...
Nah.
No?
Couldn't have been. I think that was nationwide.
Yeah, the crump era.
Crumping. What was that? Mid to late noughties.
It was, and to be honest, we haven't gotten any better. We peaked.
No, well,
Crumping was peak humanity.
Crumping, then whatever Ziz was doing and shuffling.
Yeah. What do they call that? Where the bodybuilder dudes at festivals do that? Is it muzzing?
Muzzing? Muzzing?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, clearly the two of us are obviously shredded to pieces.
Yeah.
Not even shredded, torn. We are torn to pieces.
Yeah.
Natalie and Bruglia.
Yeah,
torn.
We're an office shredder.
Exactly. But we're not at festivals. We're not going to stereo with our lids off.
No. You and I have ventured to a festival every now and then.
Oh, yeah, in our youth. We certainly did. Pendulum.
One of the great bands back in the day for mine. I can't do them anymore.
Yeah, no, there's still a few of their songs that I really like. But they were great live.
Snoop Dogg was fantastic.
He was.
Who else do we see?
Anyone smoking weed in the crowd? Snoop Dogg. Hey, we're only 18. We're not doing that.
Hell no. Okay. But yeah, festivals, not my jam. I'd rather go to a concert these days.
Do you know what festival I prefer? The Spring Festival of Racing.
Oh, how lovely is it?
Mate, we are in for an absolutely insane day of racing across Melbourne and Sydney, and there's plenty of value out there.
There is, and there's plenty of rain, which is currently missing the tracks.
Yeah, it is.
From what I'm seeing, but there's a big storm about to hit Randwick, but they haven't put any water on it. So I reckon soft 5, soft 6.
Yeah, I think so.
At the worst.
Yeah, I think so too. We're definitely not going to be playing in the heavies.
No, and then in Melbourne, there's a big sheet of rain down there at the moment, and I heard the track manager say today via our RSN with Mickey Blue Eyes Felgate, if they get 20 mil, it'll be soft 5. More than that, soft 6, obviously. But I don't think they have much forecast for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. So I reckon soft 5 at worst at Flemington, soft 6 at worst at Randwick. But it could be a good track at both.
It could be, and you and I both know that Flemington can drain the hell out of any water that it gets.
Oh, God, yeah.
And a soft 5 at Flemington, for me, plays like a good 4 most of the time anyway. Yeah.
There'll be enough toe.
Oh, there'll be some horses that don't mind a bit of toe on the ground.
Tell you what I did. Might save that for the race, actually. You know what else happens in spring?
Grand finals.
Grand finals happen in spring.
They sure do.
And you know what else happens in spring, specifically last week?
Up there, Gazali.
Yeah. But also, this guy making one of the biggest bed shits of all time, saying that Jimmy Tompus played really well this year.
Oh, mate, yeah. You can't blame me for not calling you out on that because I don't know. I follow AFL, but not that closely.
In that moment, I was so uncomfortable and I was going with my gut. My gut was very, very wrong. And I'm always, when I'm on the punt, mate, I trust my gut.
Factual.
Yeah.
Analytical.
Yes. But
when it comes to the punt, the gut always should take precedent.
Absolutely. And so I apologise about that. That was quite funny in the wash up of that. But shout out to Jimmy, whatever you're doing. I know you're not playing footy these days.
Yeah.
But how good were the Ds?
Mate, they were incredible. It was an insane burst of goals in the third quarter.
I saw the end of that. They scored like 3 in a minute.
Yeah, literally from the centre bounce.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was insane. Yeah, well, watch the entire game, a real seesawing affair. Then all of a sudden, the Demons just got a bit of confidence, and they just were like, "No, we're the better team here." And they were the best team all year. So I'm happy for them. I really am. 57 years, mate. It's a long time.
It is a long time, and I don't know. They've got a gun midfield, up and coming forward line,
Quite young.
Jake Lever just taking intercept marks left, right, and centre down back. Probably say Ben Brown's done a job up forward for them, but I don't know. He's been quite inconsistent in his last few years in North Melbourne, but how's he going from North Melbourne? We don't want you, mate. Literally from the shithouse to the penthouse.
Literally from the shithouse to the penthouse. And yeah, it was a great day to be a Melbourne supporter. Demons, not Storm.
How's that?
I told you. I had a bad feeling about that game.
You are picking the eyes out of horse racing, out of football. It's been unbelievable to see.
Mate, if I have a heater this weekend, I tell you what, it'd be a miracle. Like I'd be, I don't know, how many disciples did Jesus have? 11 or 12?
Tons.
Yeah, tons. I'd be one of them. I'd be reaching for sainthood.
So you're in biblical form, is what you're trying to say.
I am in biblical form. Yeah, I'm not even going. Last week I shied away from it a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, you had a cracking weekend, but it'll all come crashing down soon enough. But no, mate, I was picking them left, right, and centre again last week, except for Animo. Oh. Fuck. Honestly, I was just watching the race, and I actually have never been so nervous watching a horse race in my entire life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. But I still finished well and truly up, so it is what it is.
It is. And my old mate, the party bus Artorius, was stuck true to form. Did you see the head-on vision finally?
I did. Unbelievable. He literally had to move across, like you said, 20 metres. I think if that, yeah, probably more.
Yeah, and it was really hard to see, like, for the racing footage. You're like, oh, yeah, he's gone, like, 5 minutes this side there. Didn't affect him. Mate, he was off course.
He was.
Because of the lame horse.
Yeah, he was. The booze bus. He was holding it together and then he just unravelled. He was motoring home. Yeah, mate, look, it was... in the Congo was tough. There was talk during the week that there wasn't really a track bias at Rose Hill. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. I reckon there was a few that won from the back and a few that placed from the back as well. I ran the numbers. You look at Animo and Artorius. They came from way back. Coastwatch was on speed in the Congo. Then Star Tontes. I still don't know how to pronounce that.
Star Tontes.
Yeah, whatever it is. The Queensland filly. She came from well back, but she only finished 6th or so. She still finished a length behind. But in the other feature, Entente, he came from back.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Yonkers came from back. We didn't even touch on that yet.
Yonkers. Mackenzie Jones, honestly.
Round of applause.
Do we have a drum roll so we can... let's just leave it. So I was going to say, biggest Leroy of all time.
Huge Leroy. Left us reeling because our units are looking like, well, mine more specifically, look, more to be desired.
How's that though? I have another heater and my actual picks for the on the Drift Ledger, just no good.
No good, but could be worse, could be me. Worse. I'm 8 units down. I think you've clawed your way back from being about 5 units down to being only 2 units down. And then Mackenzie has just gone wickety whack. And now I believe the on the drifter of the week is 10 units up or so.
Yeah, not bad.
Yonkers. So you love to see it. We had a few people DM us on the IG saying, like, you need to keep Mackenzie on full time. We haven't.
Sub out.
But I'd say Mackenzie will be back.
Yeah, look, we'll invite Mackenzie LC Jones back if he behaves himself. If he treats our mother well, we might get him back on the podcast.
You love to hear it. All right. On to, did I have anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Did you?
No.
Okay. Ladbrokes?
Yes.
So, Do you want to kick it off? The good people at Ladbrokes? I've got 3 and I think you've got 2, so maybe I should kick it off.
That sounds good. We had this last week.
The honours are with I. So we're talking about best moments in grand finals. Obviously, the AFL grand final just gone. It was a tremendous game. Obviously the Doggies got blown out of the water in the sort of back end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, but nevertheless, there were some great moments. Christian Petrarca's grubber kick goal was unreal. He was incredible. 40 disposals. Norm Smith
got demoted down to 39, so he's equal with Simon Black for most of the time. Yep.
Geez, I like that as a Lions supporter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say as a Survivor supporter.
Yeah, well, that too.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah, good looking rooster.
He
Simon
is.
Black. Yeah,
Seen him in the flesh at South Bank.
Still fit.
Oh yes. He does his best work. He commentates for Triple M these days. I believe he's an assistant coach with the AFLW side at Lions. Didn't want to come here. He reckons. Hey, can't get rid of him. What a guy.
Sunshine State's well and truly got their claws in him. So, we're talking about great grand final moments across NRL and AFL. I'm taking the NRL. Hutch is taking the AFL. I'm going to kick us off with 2014 grand final because the victorious Sydney Rabbitohs that year, South Sydney Rabbitohs, in the grand final again on Sunday. And they'd already had the game wrapped up. And it was, I think, about 30-6 with 2 minutes to go. And future immortal, in my opinion, Greg Inglis.
GI.
Oh, mate, him in full flight, just a glorious sight to see.
Reminds me of, weren't we talking about the Moya Stakes last week? And you were saying you were comparing yourself to Usain Bolt?
Yeah. I was comparing myself to Usain Bolt.
I think GI is in the conversation.
Yeah, GI is a fast man and a big man. And he scored with a couple minutes to go, about a 30-metre run to the try line, with his signature goanna move coming up off the floor, big tongue out, cheering at the camera. All his players got around him. And Souths won their first premiership for what was, I think, 40 years at the time.
Well, this year is their second grand final in 50 years.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Heard that on Bloke in a Bar this week. Bloke in a Bar. But I thought you were going to say Sam Burgess's first hit up of the game, where he crushed his eye socket.
Yeah, comes off at halftime. Mate, how's the face? Oh, it's hooked. That's literally all he said to the journalist. I think it may have been Darren Lockyer or Freddie Fittler on the sideline, throwing a bit of bants. But GI, great grand final for a South supporter, and he was outstanding that game.
Are you leaning towards Souths or Penrith?
It's a tough game. I like Souths. Yeah, I think they're on the up. I think Penrith have been really tough the last few weeks, but I think they're holding on barely. Storm were rubbish last week, and they only just won. So,
yeah,
Rabbitohs got more to play for.
That is true. They have a lot of storylines this week. Benji retiring, probably.
Adam Reynolds moving to the Broncos. Wayne Bennett's last year at the Rabbits.
Cody Walker debuting at 26.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a bit of a naughty boy in his youth, Cody Walker. Took him a while to hit his straps, but he's a quintessential 5'8", Cody Walker. Good runner of the footy, can kick well, can create a try assist.
You love to hear it. Sounds like he'll be good in a grand final, just like these moments.
Just like these guys.
Yeah. Well, this is probably of the last 15 to 20 years, this would probably be the most famous 4 words from grand final commentary that I can remember, at least. Leo Barry, you star. Stephen Quartermain for Channel 10 at the time, who had the rights.
Interesting.
Was only for about 4 or 5 years, I believe. But I remember I obviously loved my Lions, but I was still very young at the time. And the West Coast Sydney duels back in the day, they were like exactly the same as like Brisbane Cowboys during that 3-year period. Hawthorn Geelong I reckon the Sydney West Coast rivalry was right up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, final 30 seconds of the game. Big Coxie takes an intercept mark on the half-forward flank, bombs it in on his left. There's a pack of 9 blokes in there, and then Leo Barry, the fullback, just the absolute brick, the brick wall, just drifts in front of the pack, takes a pack mark with 9 blokes in it. Bang. And then Stephen Quartermain, Leo Barry, you star. The crowd's going nuts because all the South Melbourne / Sydney supporters hadn't won a premiership in 72 years, longest drought ever, and they broke it. And then, I think it was Ty Kennelly who was in the forward pocket with him. He jumped on him, but Leo Barry didn't know that he didn't hear the siren. So he was like, oh, fuck. I've been pinged on the ball here. And then, you hear the crowd. And then, the rest is history.
There you go. Unreal. My next one, also paying homage to the other team that's in the grand final, Scotty Sattler, try-saving tackle, 2003 grand final against the Roosters. The Roosters winger Todd Byrne was his name. Actually, looks a bit like Microphone. Oh, mate. Yeah.
Microphone Ed.
Yeah, real buzz cut, but like...
Jared Grant.
Yeah, like the hairline, like all the way down here and just like a little fuzz.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so pivotal moment in the game. I think the scores were all locked up. Todd Byrne makes a break down the sideline for the Roosters. Quick winger, Scotty Sattler, he was a lock. And he just makes a beeline for him. Textbook tackle around the ankles, drags the ankles over the sideline. Bang. Penrith ended up going on to win 18-6. And it was their second ever premiership, going for their third on Sunday.
I believe there's a saying about tackling people around their legs.
Can't run.
You can't run without legs.
Exactly right.
I was horrific at that advice. Couldn't tackle to save my life.
You know what?
You could fold people.
Oh, mate. Yeah. My shoulders are paying the price.
On to one that was, I've given West Coast a bit some love here.
You do love West Coast. Would they still be a second team or not really?
No, second team. I just back in the day, I loved that West Coast side in the noughties.
Great kit back then too.
Yeah, good kit. They always played in the one that they basically have now. But yeah, you can't go past Juddy at West Coast or Cuz, Dean Cox, Adam Hunter.
A few threats.
So many threats. But current day West Coast, this would have to be, looking back, one of the great steals of a premiership you'd ever hope to see. Because somehow Richmond weren't in there.
Yeah, so it was the last 4 years, obviously, well, not including this year, Richmond's won the premiership except for this year.
Yeah. So they were right in their premiership window, destroyed, was it Adelaide the year before? The Pies knocked them off in the prelim. West Coast make it, and I remember us watching that game.
Yeah.
In the first half, we were like, this is a terrible game of footy.
Yeah.
And then the second half, it proved to be one of the best grand finals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Dom Sheed, mate, that kick.
Yeah.
He hasn't paid it for a beer since.
Nah, and nor will he ever. Nor should he.
No. And I've heard about him. He's on Dylan Friends.
Yeah, right.
And he's, might not actually been him, might have been. But Luke Shuey was talking to Dylan Buckley, and he was going, what's Dom like when he's, on a Mad Monday or had a few beers after it, 3-day weekend or whatever. And he's like, he's like, we'll go into him, mate, we have a dangly because of you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, nah, don't worry, boys, team game. Apparently you get a couple of beers into him. And he's like, he loves it. Gets right into it.
Yeah. What's behind the mask after a few ice cold beverages, Dom?
Yeah.
Do you know what's behind the mask? A premiership, which I won for you boys. Let's go. Yeah, it was a crazy kick. It was right on the sideline, wasn't it?
Yeah, in front of Pie supporters, and he just gives it to him.
Oh, just nailed it too.
Yeah.
Like straight out. Oh,
I wonder what I would do in that situation. I'll probably kick it like out in the full for starters. But
I'll just go torpy just to see what happens.
Torpy?
Just to leave it in control of my boot. So not even thinking about it. It's like this either comes off or it doesn't.
Holy smokes. But Oh yeah. Imagine if you kick it and then after that you just like I'd do a lap. Do a lap of the oval.
Yeah. I'd sub off.
Yeah.
JD boys, JD.
I've done my job.
Yeah.
You guys defend.
Yeah, oh jeez. It wasn't that a frantic end.
Yeah,
that was a cracking game. Captain Obvious, number 5 on our list. It's almost like a two-parter too. Benny Hunt drops the ball off the kickoff in the 2015 Broncos Cowboys Grand Final. Sorry, Benny. We've definitely come around here this year, mate.
100%.
So there's that leading into, in my opinion, one of the greatest of all time, JT kicking a field goal for his beloved North Queensland Cowboys side to give them their first ever premiership. And JT's second because he won with the Dogs in 2004.
He did. But you'd have to say best grand final of all time.
100%.
Spectacle, Queensland Derby in the final. First time no New South Wales side has been in there, I believe.
Oh, unless Melbourne's played the Raiders.
No, Melbourne played Brisbane.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. 2006.
2006.
But it'd be first time since then.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And apparently, so Macca was there. Jess, my mate from work, was there. Broncos supporter, mad Broncos supporter. So condolences. But apparently the crowd was just unbelievable too, because as you could imagine, a lot of Broncos supporters, their second side, if they had to pick one, Cowboys and maybe vice versa. Yeah. So there was a lot of love between fans. But JT getting that field goal, the elation. Love you, JT.
Yeah, there's nothing like it actually. Well, there is. I've been to both Lions v Geelong when Link McCarthy made, marked the millennium and kicked the sealer and like the pure noise of the game. That's the loudest crowd I've ever been in. And that crowd was 12,000 less than when the Bronx played the Cows. Golden Point and Milf kicked the field goal.
That's right, yep.
And that was literally the capacity of the stadium was full. It came up 52,500. That's the capacity of the stadium.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And, the Gabba was way louder.
The Gabba's got, I don't know, just the way the acoustics are sort of set up. It can get really loud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you could barely hear the siren. It was that loud. It was unbelievable.
I actually like watching games at the Gabba. Like, it's a good stadium for watching stuff. Suncorp's unreal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no bad seats at Suncorp. Anyway, we could talk about stadiums all day.
We could, but thanks to Laddies.
Thank you. We humbly thank you. But by my watch, mate, there is a ton of Group 1 racing to get through. So let's kick on here. Let's start in Melbourne. There's only the one.
Yep, let's do that.
But it is probably the one I'm most looking forward to.
I am too.
The Turnbull Stakes, Group 1, 2,000 metres, set weights, penalties. Holy smokes, where do you start? I think you start with the two at the top of the market.
I think you do.
The next big fella, the next big thing, Incentivised taking on VE.
Yeah. So excited to see these two go toe-to-toe. Look, I tell you what, if there was a bucket of rain around, that'd make this race a lot more interesting because of some of the other players.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was, it was early. I get up early, mate. I get up early, get my
LB
stuff done. Yeah, have an LB, and I might have a look at the form guide and the futures markets every now and then.
It's only my favourite thing to do.
But on Tuesday morning, I had a look at the rain forecast in Melbourne. I'm like, bit of rain around.
Yeah.
VE's not totally 100% going there at this stage. She is now. But I was like, Sir Dragon, it's $15.
Stupid price.
And then Colette was $15 as well.
Stupid price.
So I had a little bet on both of those in this race, and now they've come into about $8.
Yeah.
So I got them both at the 15s on offer. $8. If it is rain affected, I think VE still beats them.
Yes.
But I don't know. It would make it so much more interesting.
It would make it a ton more interesting. So, yeah, hence why I brought it up. But yeah, look, Incentivised VE on top of the market. Is that your 1-2? In no particular order?
Yes.
Same here. I was talking to a few people this week about that. Who do you pick? VE, the champion, 9-time Group 1 winner, weight for age, racehorse in Australia that would probably be on top of the pile, or the up-and-coming guy, Incentivize, who was tough as last start over a mile at the same track. And I said, I cannot split them, but what you're getting with VE is a proven performer over 2,000 metres in high-pressure Group 1 races. Won this very race last year. Is that a safer bet? Is it?
In my humble, yes.
Mm.
I nearly left Incentivize out of my top 3, but I
know he's not one of yours.
He's not one of mine yet. He very well could be. But I don't think I'm ever going to get a price about this horse. And for like a Cox Plate winner, if the rain does come, I think Sir Dragon is a better bet at the $8 still on offer over the $2.80 on offer, where Incentivize has been bullying horses on soft decks in Ipswich.
Yeah, he's like a soft track bully.
Yeah, it's literally different gravy here. He could be an out-and-out star. I'm not denying that, but I need to see more from him. I have VU on top. I think the deck is going to be closer to a soft 5 to a good 4, so I do have Incentivize in my top few there, and I do have Sir Dragonet. I think his return first up was superb.
Unreal.
Yeah, it really surprised me. Slowly coming around to him. I was pretty harsh on him last autumn, last prep, but
yeah, he's not one of mine, Sir Dragonet.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Incentivize. Can't jump off him. I love Very Elegant as well. She's proven she could pull his pants down massively. Really could. But I'm going to go with Incentivize because I think he gets another soft run. I think he sits right behind Mount Popper, has a bunny to chase, kicks. He could very well be an absolute superstar. He could be. Very Elegant could win. So quote me. Very Elegant could win. I'm going to chuck a roughie in for third place getter though.
Person?
Young Werter.
Oh, you love this horse.
I do. Gets out to Flemington, 2,000 metres. Didn't mind his return. Kicks out. See how he goes. I think he'll get a soft 5. I think that's perfect for him. I think at the $34 on offer with Ladbrokes, Young Werter, worth an each way bet to run into third, but I think it'll be between Incentivize and my girl VE.
Love it. Okay, up to Sydney we go. Flight Stakes, Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies, 1,600 metres. Your favourite here is Startantes, if that is indeed her name. Now, what was a very common theme for me? You know what?
I know exactly what it was. Afterthoughts.
I hate them. Afterthoughts are just, I give them a wide berth. And you know what? I will get a few wrong.
Yeah, you will.
More often than not,
you're dead on.
I get them right. They literally paid up late. It is the biggest afterthought in this race. And she's the favourite. I can't have her.
No thanks.
Not going near her.
No thanks.
Who do you like? Are you sticking with your girl?
I have to.
Really?
I can't not.
Wow.
So from barrier 13, she'll have to be ridden positively 4 moves ahead. Look, I'm sticking with her. I think the mile will be suitable for 4. She's actually, do you know what? So she's come back. She ran 3rd in the Silver Shadow after racing a bit keenly through the middle of the race. She's run 5th in the Furious Stakes, the race that Jamea won. But she got taken back, ridden quietly, and she came storming home on the inside rail. T-Row Stakes last start, 1,400 metres, ridden positively. Still was chewing her face off for half the race, kicked on. I hope that she gets ridden positively from barrier 13, finds a seat and kicks ahead. I think the 1,600 metres is no issue for 4 moves. But yeah, I'm nervous. 100% I am.
You've been burnt before,
I've been burnt before. Jeez, lucky I whacked it last time. Let's go. Got to stick with 4 moves ahead. Biggest danger for me in the race is Mallory.
It's funny you say that. She's my top pick.
There you go.
She is one of my better bets on the program. I am so keen on this horse. You know what I've ventured into, which I don't do often? I had a look at the breeding of these horses.
Jeez, you're taking a Declan Jones route.
not a single doubt filly, this girl.
Mm.
You know who sired, he sired, sorry. I'm not used to this chat.
Do you know who sired the horse that you're about to say?
No.
Not a single doubt, I'm guessing.
You know who he sired? Multiple mile winners, including my girl, Canedna.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Mallory, I had a look at like the top ones in the market, and you have a couple of schnitzels in there, of course.
Yeah.
You have a Star Witness, and then you also have a Star Turn, who I have never really heard before, who's sire of the favourite. All of them, their best win ratios are around that 1,000 to 1,200 mark.
It is. It really is.
And not a single doubt, his progeny they're cherry ripe around the mile. I'm dead keen on this horse. I don't see how she doesn't run top 3 here.
I think she runs really well. She would be my other pick in the race, but I think I'd cry myself to sleep if 4 Moves Ahead won this race and I was on her, so that's why I have to be on her. But yeah, I think Mallory gets a gun run, sits just behind the speed, maybe 3 pairs back. Randwick, so plenty of opportunity to peel out and kick. Yeah, I think Mallory's a cracking bet, mate.
Huey is doing some things for me these days. Don't mind Huey. Huey's in my good books, so give him strength. I have Witness running second. I can't jump off her either. Timmy Clark gave her a good push as well. I think she's right in the game. And I can't go 4 Moves Ahead. She's just nowhere near one of mine. But I didn't mind the look of Hinge, the other Queensland horse here for Waller.
Guess an easy lead.
Yeah, 1 at the mile as well. So Bossy on the back. Could be worse.
Guess who loves a Randwick mile? Bossy. Glenn Boss. Jeez, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
4 moves, Mallory and Swift Witness into third for mine.
Perfect. Okay, I hope you prepared for the Epsom because I really haven't. I'm still trying to work this race out. 1,600 metres, handicap. Where do you start? The favourite is Riadini. I'm not venturing there. Who do you like here?
I don't mind Riadini, if I'm being honest. If he drew an inside barrier, get the soft lead with 51.5 kegs on his back. Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Botter in some cracking form, but I'm not diving in at $5 with Ladbrokes.
Nope.
So, as you know, mate, I love handicap races. So I like looking at things that are lightly weighted. And there's a horse for mine that has been racing well in weight for age, who comes here third up with a bit of that Chris Waller polish over the Randwick mile. That's a mare by the name of Hungry Heart.
Interesting. Well, yeah, talk me through it.
If we get any worse than a soft 5, soft 6, I wouldn't be as keen on her. But this has been a target all along since she finished her last prep. K-Mac knows how to ride an Epsom winner. He's on the back, 52 kegs. I think Hungry Heart will get a nice seat from barrier 10 and run really well. If it does get to a soft 6 or worse, and you're going to laugh, Ice Bath, I think, is a cracking bet in this race. Doesn't win very often, should win more often. Ran second in Doncaster in handicap conditions. She had 50 kegs that day. She's got 52 here. I really like the way she finished off in the Golden Pendant last start over 1,400 metres. On unsuitable decks, can I say, she's raced on a good 3, before that a good 4, before that a good 4. Hopefully gets a softer deck here at $10 with Ladbrokes. I think Ice Bath is a great bet too. If it is a wet deck, I'll go with her. If it's dry, I'll go Hungry Heart. But you know what? Is 57 kegs too much for Mwanga? Or could he just win this race purely on class?
He definitely can. He has the best form in this race by a country mile.
Sure does.
Beat home BE first up in the Wing Stakes. Ran second to Incentivise by half a length. That's red hot form. Barrier 13, not too worried about it. I think Probbill won from Barrier 17 or something last year.
K-Mac gave her a peach last year, remember? Took her forward.
Yeah. I think, it doesn't really matter in these big fields where they sit, I don't think. The weights kind of work themselves out.
1,600 metres, Randwick, plenty of time to sort yourself out.
Yeah, big long straight. I think he has an elite turn of foot, that horse. I did hear Annabelle Neesham say he does want it harder rather than softer, so keep that into consideration. I'm genuinely torn here. I'm between Moanga and Hungry Heart. They're genuinely who I'm between. And if I'm chucking another one in there, here's my trifecta. Aramayo.
Yeah, Aramayo's a good bet, mate.
What does Chris Waller do, mate?
I don't know.
He just turns around these things. It's unbelievable.
I couldn't tell you what he does.
And when I was going through this horse's form, because, he's 5 from 28, which isn't an horrendous strike rate. But whenever I've seen this horse run, it hasn't won. I look at his form at the mile, he's 4 from 6.
Yeah.
He absolutely towed horses up in Singapore over the mile. So I'm like, oh.
Mate, Singaporean form stacked up just last Friday night, mate.
It does. So I don't know. I could easily go him as well, but he wants it a bit harder. I tend to agree with Hungry Heart. She rocketed home last start on a soft 7. I think she's probably the one who I'm most confident in.
Yeah.
So Hungry Heart, Aramayo, Moanga.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say Hungry Heart, assuming that we get about a soft 5 or a good 4. If it gets any worse, I'll change to Ice Bath, but I'll have Ice Bath running into second and Moanga finishing out the trifecta.
Easy. All right, the worst Group 1 of the spring, the Metropolitan.
You hate this race,
I
don't you?
hate this race with a passion because it is a Group 3 with a Group 1 tag. That is what happens here because the big and the best horses go to the Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate, and the Melbourne Cup. I'm calling a spade a spade.
Yeah, play on.
And it is a pot to these horses, but they're bloody good horses, but it's not a Group 1 field.
Oh, they're group horses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually this race might turn me around because I've found one at odds here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. There's a stack of chances in this race. Man, I'm really excited to watch this race just because I think it is such a good betting race.
Yeah. Cracking betting race.
So you've got something at odds. Is it something down the bottom?
It is.
Yeah. Chris Waller?
Yeah. Number 17, no compromise.
Yeah, thought so.
I was quite taken aback. Can't say I've seen this horse run before, or if I have, I don't remember it. But I went through its about last 6 runs, and something that really caught my eye about this horse was when it was lugging a lot more weight, it had a turn of foot immediately when it was asked. As soon as the jock gave it a push, it responded. Love to see that. Really love to see it. Kathy O'Hara in the saddle. She can ride light and ride true. No compromise on top. He should have won last start in the Newcastle Cup. Not a bad form line for this race. My old mate,
Mugger2.
Yeah, thank you. Mugger2 won that last year, and he was about a $2 favourite for this race, and then Mirage Dancing ruined lives. So I've got him on top. I think Entente is well in at the weights here.
Well, that's my on-toppy.
Yeah.
Entente. I think well in at the weights. 3rd race in 3 weeks. That's a little bit of a concern for me, but I know that Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott like doing that with their horses and keeping them in work. And I think Entente might be a horse that thrives with that. Was on it last start when it won the Group 3 Colin Stephen quality. G'day, Cole. Hope you're well. And look, I thought it would probably lead that race, but ended up sitting just on speed and then showed a really good turn of foot. That was a brutally run 2,400 metres. Great times. Gets a stack of weight off the likes of She's Ideal, Montefilia here. He's a gelding, so lightly weighted geldings, 5 years old. Yeah, I'm keen to have Entente on top. Should get every chance from barrier 4, I think it's jumping out of. Yeah. $6 with Ladbrokes at the moment. That's my on toppy.
Cheeky Timmy in the saddle.
Timmy's in cracking form.
He is, mate. Him and Nash. And my 3rd pick was Great House, who won the Newcastle Cup. So I'm just hoping the form out Newcastle's red hot.
Yeah, mate, playing the exotics here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be winning a fortune. Entente on top for me. I still think She's Ideal is a really good horse, although I don't think it's weighted the best here. And it was a pretty soft victory last start. If you watch the replay of that race, ran into the race really well. But big fan of Bjorn, my guy. I think She's Ideal runs really well. Horse I didn't mind down in the weights was Zayrek.
Did you see the plunge on it?
Yeah, huge plunge. I think when I was looking at it, it was maybe mid-teens, maybe even 20s. Now it's $8.50.
Earlier in the week, it was $51.
Yeah, crazy.
So $8.50 now. It gets a run with the some of the scratchings here with my old mate Shared Ambition, just jogging onto the Hill Stakes. Zayrek. Look, I think
it would. Mate, it wouldn't shock me if a $20 thing won this.
Yeah. No. So, well, I hope it does. I hope it's
for your sake, yeah. Man, that'd be a hell of a punt.
Yeah, so no compromise for me. All right. Well, as I just get this up, here we go. Drifter of the week.
G'day.
Lewis. It's your friend Declan here. How you going?
Very, very well. Yourself?
Good
you.
Good you. We've got Lewis Westerman on the podcast as Drifter of the Week. Welcome, mate. You've got Hutcho here as well.
Hey, bro.
Nice to finally chat, Hutcho. It's actually a pleasure to hear your voice, mate. Heard a lot about you. Been listening to a lot, and hi to all the drifters out there as well.
Oh, what a man. Only good things, I hope.
Yeah, only good things. I mean, tipping, not so much, but that's all right.
Fair is fair. Speaking of tipping, mate, there is a bit going on this weekend. 4 Group 1s to get through. So we're going to start with the mouth-watering contest, the Turnbull Stakes in Melbourne. Who you got on top?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was much racing on this weekend. I mean, it's pretty much the only thing that old Declan talks about in the office these days, which is not a bad thing when there's form to be done nearly every single day. But look, I've been on VE a bunch of times here. I mean, it's 2-horse race essentially. The rest are kind of, I guess, taking or looking at the minor placings. But for me, it's VE until she gets knocked. I'm going to have to keep backing her. And I think at 230, the price is all right. It's just, how do you play around with the extra placings, really?
Yeah. Well, you'll be disappointed to know that I'm on VE as well. So I
might change that right
now. No, well said, mate. The Flight Stakes, first Group 1 in Sydney for the 3-year-old fillies. Who you got?
Yeah, I actually changed a couple of times. I was actually on 4 moves ahead last week. I had a boys' weekend away and managed to tip a few of the lads into it, which was pretty solid. Watched it, wasn't completely impressed with the way it kind of came home, and I rewatched a couple of the other races, and I actually changed my pick to Startantes here. Just the way it kind of finished in the Animo race. Obviously, Animo class horse out there, didn't finish the last 50 the same way, but I just thought the way it finished, I think it'd be hitting the line pretty well. So look at the price. It's hard to get away from 4 moves ahead when you backed it the week before to win, or the last time it went up. But I'm on Startantes here.
Yeah. $4 favourite now. Only what we were talking about earlier, which you'll listen to later, is just a bit of an afterthought for us. That concerns us a little bit. But she ran a hell of a race last start.
Just hard to go past the run of that kind of day. It did have a pretty easy run from at the back, and I mean, 4 moves will fit midfield. It'll take some beating. Mallory's there. It's a tough race, but I just had to go with that kind of finish, and the distance probably looks to suit.
Yeah, no, fair enough, mate. All right, we've struggled with the Epsom, but hopefully you can enlighten us a little bit.
If I thought that last one was hard, this is probably even harder, hey? Look, it's bloody tough. I mean, Declan hasn't stopped talking about Ice Bath all week so far. If it rains, it'll romp it in, which, look, it's a dead set shout. But Reading will go forward. Hungry Heart's going to look to peak. My actual pick, which kind of goes a little bit later, I'm going to go with Private Eye here. I reckon down the way, it's kind of an each way kind of play, but I think if it can get the right look, I actually think it was going to be my each way bet of the day, but I think Private Eye could upset very, very close to Hungry Heart. I mean, this is a tough race, gents. I'm actually going to be having a box try here. The 2, 6, 7, 11 and 12. I think Cascadian's the quality horse to actually beat Ice Bath last prep. I think 20-odd bucks is probably wrong. So I'm going to have Hungry Heart, Riadini, Private Eye, Reloaded as well with a really, really good finish last up, and Cascadian in there with Ice Bath as my kind of box try. But yeah, lads, that's a tough race.
Yeah, you love to see it. We have a very soft spot for Reloaded, so we love to hear that.
Did ya? Oh, I'm not the only one. That's sick.
I think
you hate it when you're like, oh, there's a 20, 25 odd shot. Do you talk about it to your mate? Do you not? But you got to trust yourself sometimes.
Of course you do. I think I backed that horse for the Cox Plate last year. That's how well I was going in futures.
Let's go. and I mean, we didn't even talk about the tissues in there as well. Like that's. I can't wait. I mean, Declan's probably not sleeping for this race. I'd probably say. But we haven't even talked about Malunga. I mean, one thing though, and sorry, I'm probably talking a hell of a lot. The Flemington, the Turnbull's on like 15 minutes before the Epsom, and so I guess we'll have a bit of an idea to see that incentivized VE form with Malunga up top as well, just to kind of see how franked it is and how much better they are than the rest of the field. So yeah, probably something to think about as well. So
what you're saying is if those two are in a ding-dong battle up the Flemington straight and they put 3 lengths on their rivals, Mo'unga might get crunched late.
He might.
Yeah, I reckon Mo'unga people be like, holy shit, this horse actually might be the real deal this prep, which for me, I'm still kind of, I mean, it's run 2 solid races, so it's hard to knock it, right? I mean, we're sitting here talking about everything else and not Mo'unga, but yeah, if they romp home and incentivize, if incentivize beats VE by like a length or 2, then holy shit, you're going to have to try and whack Mo'unga into some of your multiples.
Yeah, for real. And I'm just mindful with Mo'unga as well. His ultimate grand final is the Golden Eagle. So that is in the back of my mind as well. Alrighty, mate. Now, the dartboard special, the Metropolitan, where did you land on here?
Short and sweet for me here. I was on She's Ideal last time. Horse that doesn't usually run a bad race. I mean, I know Montefilia romped home. It probably deserves to be favourite. We'll probably jump even shorter than I think it's $6 on laddies at the moment. But I'm going to stick with where I've won money previously. She's Ideal. I think it'll be finishing pretty strongly. Got to go with it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a cracking bet. But she's 2 to 3 kilos worse at the weights when compared to Entente. But I reckon Entente, as DJ touched on, 3 runs in 4 weeks might be a query.
Too much?
Yeah.
I just had the same thing. I probably going to eat my words, but I just think I think it's too much. But I mean, the trainers know what they're doing better than us, right? But
yeah,
I just think the trip with She's Ideal. I mean, I think it ran third in the Sydney Cup so it can definitely do the distance, and I think it's tracking well. But I think honestly, the Quincy between She's Ideal and Montefilia is really going to be your best bet of that race.
Lovely. Okay, on to your juicy stakes bets of the weekend. So let's start with your value play of the day here, Louis.
Your big roughie.
Big roughie. Yeah, I've actually gone with a rough in a like 8-horse race. And race 4 at Flemington with Zutori, the current favourite, 350. I'm actually going to be going, not with Zutori, with the 8 Bonds Abroad. It's $18 on laddies at the moment. If you go back and do yourself a favour and watch its last race where Bella Nepotina got the chocolate, this thing was absolutely just cock-blocked, basically. It should have. I think Ruby Street, its stablemate, ran in earlier in the day, and I was like, oh shit, that's that Bonds Away kind of colours. If you guys remember Bonds Away, that was a sick shout out. I was like, sweet, like love those colours, should have been on it. And then Bonds Abroad came up later in the day, and I had a bonus bet. I was like, all right, here we go. It's time to load up the bonus bet. And it was probably paying, I don't know what it was paying at the time, but it was double figures, pretty high. And I honestly said to you, Deck, as well, like, it should have won. I honestly think it should have won. $18 at the moment, Bonds Abroad, race 4, Flemington. Give it a whack, lads.
Bang. Yeah. Ran a really nice 6 that day.
It did, trust me.
No, it still won though. All right. So is your best each way in the Epsom?
It's
Private
actually, Private Eye was going to be the one. I mean, I just think it's good value. I mean, if you kind of need an extra one, I've got a couple of extra. But yeah, Private Eye, I'm definitely having each way on Saturday. That's for sure.
All right, beauty. And who's your best of the day here, mate?
Best of the day. I'm a little bit annoyed at myself because I was looking through the form this morning. Race number, I think it's 10. Yeah, 10 at Randwick, Gravina. I think everyone found the price today. When I was looking through it this morning, I think it was $4.60 at sort of 9 a.m. or thereabouts, 8:30. $4.60. I was like, that's a silly price. And come back in $3.60. I was on it last race. It actually got me my bonus bet back. That hit me a nice little Quincy later in the day. So Gravina is what I'm looking at. I think like the weights are too good. The other front runner, Big Parade, don't know too much about it, truth be told. But I like Gravina's race. Honest, low in the weight, fitter now. I think if it's the wrong price it went up at, that'll be whacked pretty hard.
Lovely. You must be a David Gately fan because you have very similar tips to him this weekend, which is good to see. I'm a Gator fan. Good to see.
Look, I don't mind Gator. Shout out to the boys on racing.com. I can't remember whatever they do, but yeah, no, I don't mind Gator. Good lad, but I haven't even seen his tips for today or this weekend, but we'll see.
Well, you're on some similar ones, so it's good to see. All right. Anything else that you wanted to add, Spec, before we let you go?
Yeah. Look, if you see a Stewie Kendrick horse, maybe race 4, number 12 going around, just maybe, for instance, Stewie Kendrick, Sunny Coast. Shout out to the Sunny Coast guy. Got Way Beyond coming down from there. I'm probably going to have that to place. Cheeky. And we'll leave with this one, Hutch. I mean, have you ever seen Declan steer on a horse watching a race live?
Oh, yes, mate.
I'd be pretty keen to see if any other drifters out there have got some interesting ways that they kind of cheer home a horse live, and if they've got any sort of vids or something like that of their mates cheering at home. There's a few floating around of me as well, but yeah, just an interesting thought. If you haven't seen Declan before, I might be able to get you some content.
Yeah. No, that's a good point you make, actually, and something I need to be more cognizant of when we are at the pub. So that would be great to see. Yeah, if you are at the pub and you do remember to do that, get some gear. Get some video. Get some video on your IG stories. Tag us, and we'll definitely share it because that'll be good.
Love it. No, thanks for having me, Jed.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Beck. See you tomorrow, bro.
See ya. Bye.
What a guy. No, I should have won.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that a lot.
Thanks for coming on. He'll be talking about this all day tomorrow. But anyway.
Okay. What's yours? Let's start with your value play, if you'd please.
Flemington race 9, number 5, the Old Boy, 51st start on the weekend for Mavada. Gets to 1,400 metres here. 1,400 metres, he's run over 19 times, believe it or not. Won 6 times, second 6 times, third 3 times. Loves the track, has a cracking record, drawn really well, will go forward. I think Damien Lane might sneak this bloke home at $11 for laddies. Yeah, so Mavada. That's my roughie of the day.
You love to see it. I've heard some whispers that some people like it this weekend.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so not a bad shout. When I was listening on the radio this today, Asar is Gator's pick, who I couldn't possibly have. No,
thank you.
That horse has forgot how to win.
Sure has.
Well, my play, surely I just go to the great Metropolitan and I choose no compromise.
100%.
Because there's no compromise in that price right there.
Wait. No, that's fine. That's a good bet.
$15 with the good people at Ladbrokes.
Right, my each way bet of the day. We're sticking in Flemington. We're going to race 8, number 10, Shiraz. Getting about $5.50 at the moment on the schnoz for Ladbrokes. Watch betting late, punters, because the inside word from the Chris Wallace table is that this thing will go really well because they want to get it into the Melbourne Cup.
Well, like every other horse in this race, because if you win, you are in the Melbourne Cup, the Bart Cummings.
Yeah, pretty much. But so French horse has run in a lot of group races over there. Apparently super fit at the moment. 2,500 metres, it will eat it up. Ollie on board. Bang. Shiraz.
You know who I didn't mind the look of was Pondus.
Yeah.
We've seen that horse here before, but it's gone. I think it went back to Ireland.
It did, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, racing in Curragh.
Yeah, so I didn't mind the look of him. And, of the local chances, I thought Grand Promenade was a good chance and Charlie Rose.
Charlie Rose could run another good race.
Just drawn the car park, the old girl. So, young girl, girl. Meh. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
And your old mate Zyrek, he's still accepted here as well.
Yeah, he's dual acceptor.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, same.
Can't stand that. Okay. My each way play of the day is Mallory.
Yeah, getting what, 550 on the schnoz at the moment with laddies?
Yep.
I reckon she'll get crunched in.
Yeah, got 750 earlier in the week.
Okay.
Nearly made her my best of the day. But yeah, obviously we go... The way we do these as well is whatever starting price. So if it drifts, happy days.
If it gets crunched in,
then you have a $2 each way bet.
It is what it is.
Which, it is what it is. So yeah, Mallory, race 7, number 2.
Yep. My best of the day is in the Hill Stakes in Randwick. I'm really keen on Think It Over. Black odds at the moment with laddies, $2. I know it's going up against your thing, KR Nautique, and Jewis as well should run pretty well in that race, but I think It Over is a cracking horse. His last 2 runs have been super. Gets out to a preferable 2,000 metres. I think he'll be terribly hard to beat.
Fair enough. Poor old non-teak. I think he's a non-winner. He just gets too far back.
Yeah. Racing style.
Yeah, and unproven on a soft deck if he does get there. But if for whatever reason they're playing on good 3, he could be the one.
Could be.
Yeah, mate. You know where I've gone? I've gone to Flemington.
Yeah.
I've gone to race 5 on the program.
Yeah.
And I'm picking number 1, Ingratiating.
Reckon he'll bounce back?
100% he will. Tell you a couple of reasons. Gets a couple kilos swing on Ranch Hand. Big tick. Blinkers back on.
Big tick.
Huge tick. I think he wins this and wins this easy. There is a couple horses I am afraid of, though. I am very afraid of Bruckner. I think this thing this might be one of the best 3-year-olds Mara and Eustace have. I think they've really been holding this thing back. Had a look and couldn't see an acceptance in the Coolmore yet. But if they stay at the sprinting trips, he is $26 in the Coolmore. So if you want to, and the Coolmore, I feel like it's pretty open this year.
Gotcha.
So I reckon he could be the way, but he has a nom into the Caulfield Guineas as well. Week back up when they've been spacing his runs a lot. I don't think so. I think they might be going the Coolmore with this horse.
Wonder why they are spacing his runs so much, and he's so lightly raced. Maybe he's a bit crazy.
He might be, but, he ran pretty, beat Artorias first up.
And Artorias rocketed home.
Yeah, so held him off. So, but yeah, Ingratiating, shades on, is better in the weights here. I think he's a cracking bet.
Yeah, I would be taking Ingratiating to bounce back in that race, mate. So I'm with you.
You love to see it and you love to hear it. But, DJ, if you are having a punt this weekend, you need to do it responsibly.
% 100.
If gambling is a problem for you, you can ring the Gambling Help Hotline, 1800 858 858, and they also have all the resources you need online. But there's 3 Group 1s at Randwick this weekend.
That's where we're doing it.
Bottom line, you can win this. The prize pack at Ladbrokes. So you have the lovely hat here. You have the pen, which is here. You have the socks. You have the stubby cooler and the little tote bag.
And you would have seen it in the flesh on our stories last week with Mickenham, who took out the comp, not last weekend, the weekend before that. And that hat fit his noggin comfortably. So
it's a versatile hat.
It's an incredibly versatile hat. So I reckon we'll definitely do it at Randwick. Some super open races. So if you have a great day, you'll be making some cash.
Yeah. Doubles, double points in the Group 1. So, if you stuff the first half of the card up, not to matter, just pick the winner of the Epsom, the Metropolitan, and the Flight Stakes. That's all you need to do. And you'll probably get the chockies, I'd imagine. It's already in the link in bio of our Instagram, so you can enter whenever you want. If your horse does get scratched before the race, you get subbed out with the favourite.
Yep.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me, mate. I am looking forward to it. It's going to be a cracking weekend of racing. We've been speaking for an hour, one of our longest episodes, but there has been a lot of chat about Group 1 racing.
Louis was giving a 5-minute rundown of why Bonza Broad's going to finish 6th again. So,
mate, he's a natural. I've got to say, he's a natural. So well done to him.
Yeah, it'll be good to get him in. Actually,
yeah,
we've been wanting to do a bit of a quaddie companion. That's what we've been wanting to do. Do like a live show almost, and watch the quaddie, and then you could actually see us ride home some winners, hopefully, which would be nice.
Yeah.
So, but there's a few things to go, bit of water to go under the bridge there. Also, COVID is rearing its ugly head up here in Brisbane again. So, hopefully, it won't be the case, but we might need to do this remotely next week. We'll come to that when it comes.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when it comes, even.
Yeah. So I believe that's all I had to say.
Best of luck, drifters. Hope you have fun. Gamble responsibly. Bye.
Hooroo.